9/11. During a stream where Hasan was covering a Joe Rogan interview with Congressman Dan Crenshaw, the interview reached a point where Crenshaw was discussing America's controversial global intervention in other countries, specifically in the Middle East. During this section, Hasan blurts out, "America deserved 9/11, dude. F it, I'm saying it." A minute later, he tries to soften it by saying that the things we did made the attack justified because of what America was doing overseas. It should be noted that 9/11 wasn't once brought up in the original podcast, and Hasan just said it out of the blue. This was Hasan's first major controversy, and his uncle Cenk Uygur brought him on to address the issue and debated him on it, as he found it to be a reprehensible thing to say. While there is plenty to criticize American foreign policy on, it should be noted that Hasan flat out just hates America as a country, despite coming over here and reaping all the benefits. He hates America to the core, and as we're going to see, he'll even defend worse atrocities by other nations that are opposed to America. China Apologia. During an episode of Leftovers podcast with Ethan Klein, Ethan brought up his support for Taiwan and Hong Kong as opposed to the CCP or the Chinese Communist Party. When Ethan asked Hasan about this, Hasan stammered and said he could only repeat what the American foreign policy says, refusing to support the independence of either Taiwan or Hong Kong. Ethan then rightfully pointed out that Hasan loves China. Even worse, when asked about the Uyghur genocide, Hasan completely downplayed it by cherry-picking news articles saying it wasn't happening, and then when asked about China's treatment of Tibet, Hasan said it was justified. His logic was that Tibet was a savage slave-owning society and China was quote-unquote doing them a favor. Not only is this gross whitewashing of the events, but the exact same logic can be used to justify America's treatment of Native Americans, which is often compared to China's treatment of Tibetans or Uyghurs. This would be the beginning of the end of Ethan Klein's friendship with Hasan. Houthi support. Hasan loves playing Islamic terror propaganda on stream. Most infamously are the Houthis, an extremely anti-Semitic group known for child soldiers and kidnapping ships that cross the Gulf of Aden. One day, Hasan decided to interview a Houthi soldier, branding it specifically as a interview with a Houthi rebel. Remember that now. During this interview, Hasan glazed the crap out of him in everything Houthis do, not addressing any of the evil things they do and getting angry at chat for calling him out on it. Hasan would face backlash on this, and he would try backtracking, saying that there's no evidence for this guy being in the Houthis, despite calling him a Houthi rebel beforehand. Believe it or not though, it only gets worse. Hasan once invited a friend over and decided to play music. This meant literally playing a terrorist propaganda video, getting up and leaving the video playing with his friend to watch alone. His friend was very disturbed by this and called out Hasan, saying, "This ain't a music video, Hasan. Death threats." Hasan is no stranger to inciting violence. See this image? This is a diagram of a makeshift gun that was used to assassinate former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. This is the image that Hasan posted in response to inactive US politician Tom Cotton when telling people to fight pro-Palestinian protesters who block traffic. Seriously, with stuff like this, I don't know how this guy isn't getting a knock on the door from the FBI. The next instance of this is when Hasan was discussing healthcare, where he said, if you cared about Medicare fraud, you would kill Rick Scott. He tried saying that he meant giving the death penalty, but I don't care what people say. This is an explicit call to violence against a sitting US senator. Finally, we have a death threat against Ethan Klein's wife, Ela Klein, where he said that every type of Israeli settler deserves to be killed, and that it doesn't matter if it's your favorite podcaster's wife. It should be noted that Ela Klein served in the IDF 20 years ago. Saying favorite podcaster's wife is so specific to the point where it cannot be coincidence. Weird rape opinions. During October 7th, there are numerous instances of sexual assaults done by Hamas soldiers raiding Israel. In the kidnappings that happened afterwards, rapes also happened to kidnapped Israeli women. This isn't, of course, to downplay the horrific treatment Israel has done to Gaza, but these rapes did happen, and I'm not about to say that they don't matter. Hasan, on the other hand, is that kind of guy. Literally saying that it does not matter if rapes happened on October 7th, even if done systematically. He goes back and forth when saying this, sometimes denying that mass rapes ever happened, or saying that it doesn't matter. It would be much easier for him to simply say that rape is bad and that he condemns that specific action, but then again, Hasan has some weird opinions about rape, and this ain't the first time. During a stream, he once talked about rich white women being raped, ultimately downplaying it.
They were... At least Patrick Henry College is like doing one good thing, which is that like if you have these fucking millionaire, billionaire WASP fail sons, at least taking them out of other colleges so they can only do date rape to other billionaire, millionaire failed daughters is like, in some respects, you know, from a utilitarian perspective, of course, a little bit better.
You know, a little bit better. Rape isn't so bad in these circumstances, guys. Seriously, how can you defend this? Lazy reactions. Several years ago, we had an epidemic on YouTube where YouTubers would make reaction videos where they would just watch another person's video on camera without saying much at all. This was considered very lazy and borderline content theft. Well, fast forward several years and the issue has gotten much worse with streaming. This has become a hot topic where YouTubers are getting fed up with streamers lazily reacting to their videos, ultimately siphoning views to their own streams. One of the worst offenders here is, of course, Hasan. Hasan is so bad when doing this, he will literally get up from his chair, play the video, and leave for several minutes. This is what many people are calling a chair react. He also forgets to shout out the channel sometimes, and then he gets angry when people call him out on it. The big problem with this is that stream viewers will have no incentive to go to the original video since they've already seen it in full interrupted. So he's essentially stealing views when doing this. Twitch's bias. I've mentioned it before, but it's worth repeating. Twitch has a major bias problem. The CEO of Twitch, Dan Clancy, has a weird infatuation with Hasan. In an interview, he stated he watched Hasan saying, "I like the frankness and bluntness." He's comfortable saying what he believes, not realizing that this is ultimately a problem. Despite everything I've stated in this video, Hasan rarely ever faces consequences for his actions. The only thing he's been banned for in what I've mentioned so far is when he incited violence against Rick Scott, and the ban lasted for a total of 1 day. And it was his off day. Seriously. And this isn't because Twitch is relaxed when it comes to their policies either. They perma-ban people for saying the N-word all the time. They banned Asmongold for 2 weeks after saying that Palestinians deserve to be attacked by Israel because they do the same in that position. And if he doesn't face repercussions for this final controversy, then you know things are seriously, seriously wrong. Abusing his dog. On October 7th, 2025, Hasan was once again talking about how America is bad until his dog Kaya stepped off her little cot. Hasan stopped his bitching for a second to scold her, then she yelped, jolted, and walked back to her cot where Hasan whined about her some more. People noticed that she was wearing a flashing collar and came upon a horrifying realization. Not only was Hasan forcing her to stay in that one small space for hours upon hours, but that collar was a shock collar and he was zapping her every time she stepped out of line. This is honestly disgusting behavior, and barely anyone is trying to defend him at this point. The very next day, Hasan tried showing the collar to prove that it was just a regular vibrating collar, but internet sleuths found out it was the exact kind of shock collar where its prongs could be removed. Furthermore, if it wasn't a shock collar, why did Kaya yelp and jolt the moment Hasan scolded her? That's not how dogs react to simple vibrations. Also, if Kaya hurt herself in a different way, how come Hasan didn't immediately get up to see if she was okay like any normal pet owner would do? It's because he shocked her. He knew this would be the reaction she'd give. Seriously, fuck this guy.
Kaya, please just fucking go. Just stop.